Now let's talk a little bit about what you'll see in MyMathLab. Over here on the left-hand side, there's a link to assignments. There's a link to a study plan, and that's simply for your access only if you want to go and play around in that. The link to your MyLabs and Mastering gradebook, not your official Canvas gradebook, but the scores on each of the assignments that you complete here. There's also access to an e-text, and that text is also available under the chapter links. So if I click the chapter contents here, you'll notice I have all the chapters of the book listed here. So if we're studying in chapter 1, you can go into section 1, and you'll see there's a video, there's the e-text, or you can go and do some practice in the study plan if you'd like to. So each one of these links takes you to a video presentation, the e-text, and the study plan for that particular section. So you can do that for any chapters that we cover. Now, we don't cover every chapter. We don't cover any part of chapters 10 and 11, but we do many parts of these other chapters, and you'll see that from the course calendar. The other thing you'll see here is some information about student success. And I encourage you, if you have a chance, to look at these things about mindset, study skills, time management, stress management, all these sort of things, effective note-taking. These are all good links for you. If you're struggling or have struggled in math before, you should take a look at these. Another important thing is the multimedia library. If you click on the multimedia library, think of, let's say we're working in chapter 1, section 4 on division, you're having trouble. And you just like to see what all different media is available for that section. You click that, you click Find Now. You can see there's an animation, a PowerPoint, the link to the textbook, and then some videos that will also help you with chapter 1, section 4. So use that multimedia library when you need it. These links are also available within each homework assignment, and you'll see that in a few minutes. These accessible resources have to do with students who are hearing or visually impaired. If you need a video transcript to any of the videos that are contained here, you'll find that information here. Okay, so let's take a look at assignments for a minute. When I click on assignments, I can see all of my assignments, or I can toggle by just the homework or just the quizzes. And if you go to all assignments, you'll see that the only thing that is available to you at this point are assignments for Unit 1. You can see the U1. These are all the Unit 1 assignments before the first test. As we get to new material, those new assignments will start to reveal themselves. You will notice that each of these has a due date. This is the last date and time which you can submit these assignments. So you want to make sure you adhere to this, and you'll also see these dates in Canvas and on the calendar in Canvas. You'll also notice that there are flags here. So before you can do certain assignments, you have to do certain things. Most units come with a skills checkup. This is just a short little quiz to see what you remember. This whole first unit is all about arithmetic. I expect you'll be able to do most of it on your calculator. But if you're rusty or if you're not sure how to use your calculator, you can do this practice. You'll have to make at least a 75 on this practice before the first homework assignment opens. So you want to do this as quickly as you can. With your calculator, I suspect you'll make 75 on the quiz, and you can just skip this skills check. Now, neither of these count for grades. This is your first graded assignment, homework 1. So let's take a look at homework 1. Oh, I can't get into homework 1 because I haven't done my prerequisites. So look what happens when I click on it. It tells me I have to do the skills check first. In a few minutes, you'll see a video of how the homework process and the quiz process works. I do want you to notice one other thing here. When you take your quiz, you can take it an unlimited, that's the infinity symbol. You can take it an unlimited number of times. This is designed this way for a specific reason. I want you to make 100 on every quiz. If you don't make 100, go back and take the quiz again until you can. I highly, highly recommend that you don't use your phone or your notes when you take the quizzes. After you take the quiz, you can go back and you can review the quiz, and you can look at any of the learning aids that are available that will help you answer the questions, and then you can repeat the quiz until you can make 100. Now, you don't have to make 100, but 100 is a great indication that you really understand all the problems on the quiz. So please, at least the first time, take it without any additional notes or resources just to see what you know. And then review it and take it again and try to make 100. Now let's take a look at what a homework assignment looks like. Now this has a flag, but because I'm in my own instructor account now, I'll be able to get into this assignment. You won't be able to do it until you reach the score on the skills check and the skills check practice. So you'll see that there's the name of the assignment. This is the section in the textbook. When it's due, how many points there are, okay? You're going to get a percentage score, but you can also see there are 22 questions. And look, you can do these questions until you get them right. Now on a quiz, that's not the case, so we'll talk about that when we get to the quiz. Now you'll notice there's also a late penalty deducted for 15% from the questions that are completed after the due date. If you don't quite get a homework done, you can continue to work on it up until the night before the test. However, when you do that, you will lose 15% per item that's not completed before the original deadline that you see listed. So I'm going to click on question 1. And here is the question. You'll notice I can click this and it will show me all of the questions, so I can skip around if I need to. It will show me where the question is located, question 1, 1.1, and there's also an identifier here. So you can, if there's a problem with a specific problem, if you have an issue with a specific problem, you can tell me that that's the number, or you can just say it's question 1, homework 1. There's a tool button here in case you need some other information, and save is when you're finished with the entire set. Now the question is listed here, and then there's an answer blank where you enter your answer. And notice when I clicked on that, this palette came up. So you have a fraction, a mixed number, an exponent, absolute value, which we may or may not use, square root, we may use some. This is for other roots besides like a cube root. This is a subscript, which we probably won't use in this course. This is for ordered pairs. There's also more, and you can find every imaginable symbol you can think of for math. But normally, the ones that you need are going to be listed here in this bottom row. Now there's a tutoring link, and if you click on that, it goes to Smart Thinking, and we do have a Smart Thinking account at Shelton. Also, Help Me Solve This is a way for you to get help with this specific problem. Notice how this matches, these numbers match exactly. 70 invoices Monday, 85 invoices Tuesday, so it's exactly the same thing. So you just read and follow along. But when I close this, look, it's changed to 60 invoices on Monday. So if you use the Help Me Solve This, you'll have to go back and do another one. Now there's also the Get More Help here, and you can just look at an example. And the example will not be the exact same problem, but it will be a similar problem, and you can work through that, and it will show you, for example, in this case, that you needed to add these numbers. Now, we're going to use a calculator. You don't have to worry about all this long addition that they're showing you, because you're going to use your calculator. In addition, there's a link to your textbook. Sometimes there may be a video. There's also the link to Ask My Instructor. This goes directly to my mailbox. If you have a question, you can send it there. And what I usually do is when someone has a question, that means usually more than one person has a question. So what I do is I'll work it out in a video and I'll post it under the Ask My Instructor discussion board that will be available in Canvas. You can also print your homework assignment. You can print the entire assignment and work offline. Watch how it loads the whole assignment. And then when you come back, if you want to print it off or just save it as a PDF, you've got all the problems right here, and you can work them out on paper, and then you can come back and just enter your answers and check them. This is great if you have limited or slow internet at home. Work offline, get it all organized in your notebook, and then you just come back and you just type in your answers. Now, once you get the answer, you're going to check your answer down here. So I'll go ahead and do this problem just so we can show what happens to check answers. So in this case, this is an addition problem. It says the billing department at a toy company sent out 60 invoices on Monday, 85 invoices on Tuesday, 106 invoices on Wednesday, 50 on Thursday, 57 on Friday. What is the total number, which could be addition or multiplication, but in this case it's going to be addition. So I've got my own screen calculator. You really need your TI-30X2S, the only calculator that you're allowed to use on your tests, and you can see some more information about that in your class. But I'm going to add this up. I'm going to add 60 and 85, 106, 50, 57 for Friday. So now I can double check 60, 85, 106, 50, 57, 60, 85, and that's going to be my answer. Now I'm going to put the wrong answer in. I know it's 358, and I'm going to remember that, and I'll come back and put the right one in. But let me show you. Let's say I put 357 in there. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to check my answer. Now, it tells me it's incorrect and it gives me a hint. In order to find the total, add the numbers. So I just need to go back and I need to check my addition to make sure I did it right. And then all I have to do is click in the box when I know the correct answer and change that, and it will give me credit. Okay? Now, I have two choices. I can close this, and I can ask for a similar question if I would like to. Okay? And then I can do that same question again. So you can actually practice these questions multiple times. Or I can just go to the next question, and I'm going to save the best score because I got that right. And so on. Now, there is a link to the skill builder down here at the bottom. If you're having trouble, it will help you go through the problem step by step by step. It's very similar to the Help Me Solve This. It's just a little more complex, a little more sophisticated, and gives you a little bit more detailed work. But that's basically what it looks like, and then I can return to the homework. Now, when I'm finished, if I close my computer and I forget to save, it's no big deal. This one is already saved as correct. Okay, so I'll just hit save, and you'll notice that it's correct here. And even if I didn't, because I had checked that one, it would give me credit for that problem. So don't worry if your computer shuts down or something. Any that already have a check mark by them will remain with a check mark. And the nice thing about homework is, if I only have time to do 4 or 5 problems, I can just come back later, open MyLab and Mastering, and I can go right back in to the homework assignment and get started on it. There it is. Question 1 is already correct. All right, now let's look at the difference between a homework and a quiz. And again, you've got flags that you can't bypass. I can, as an instructor, bypass that. Notice it says instructors can. You won't be able to. So here's the thing about the quiz. You will not know how you scored on the quiz until you submit it. So you start your test, and you answer all the questions. Just going to put some numbers in. Obviously, I'm going to miss all these. I'm just going to guess. And then I would do all of them. Now, if I try to submit it when I have not finished them all, it will remind me. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and submit it to show you that it's going to tell me what I missed and what I got right. And I only tried one and didn't get it right. So you want to try all of the problems. You can immediately review it, and you can go in and you can see what you missed. And sometimes there'll actually be help features on almost all of your quizzes. You should see help features down here that can help you. And if you click on it, you can see your answer compared to theirs. And you can also see the feedback on what you should have done to answer the question. Now, the thing about quizzes is when you go to your grade book, you're going to see that score, but the highest score is the only score that will count. So if you don't make 100 on that quiz, feel free to go back to assignments and start the quiz again. Now, you have to start the whole quiz. You don't get to just do the ones you miss. You just click on the quiz and you start it again and you start from scratch. Now, it looks like you have a lot of prerequisites here. You really don't. The only prerequisite to all of these assignments, all of these flags will be removed once you've taken this little short skills checkup and once you have done the practice if needed. You need to make a 75 on one of these in order to get into here. Okay? Anything you get right on this won't be included here. It will only be the items that you need to do that you missed on this. So that's your overview of MyMathLab. So if you have any questions about MyMathLab, feel free to send me a question in Canvas.